Setting goals is the first step in turning the invisible into the visible. Tony Robbins. Hey hustlers, Christian here, host of the Hustle Show. Thank you so much for tuning in today. If you're new to the show, welcome to this amazing community, the Hustle Show, where we have amazing conversations with successful entrepreneurs. And if you are coming back, welcome back. I'm super excited to have you here too. And thank you so much for joining me today on episode number 12 with Rachel Michaelov, where we're gonna share some really cool mindset tricks, goal setting, and she's gonna share with us all a lot of things that she's learned from big entrepreneurs like Tony Robbins, Gary Vaynerchuk, and many other tips that she shares with us on how to properly set up goals and how to achieve them in life so that you can boost your profitability in business, or that you can achieve every goal that you set up. I'm very excited to share all this with you. It is a really inspiring story of how Rachel has been in business for 12 years, and she's the expert in taxes. So I can't wait to share this with you. And remember that all the show notes and a way to connect with Rachel today is going to be available at thehustleshow.co/THS12. And the website, you're gonna find not only the video and audio experience of this episode, but also the show notes, a way to connect with our guests, the book club where we share entrepreneurial books, and so much other stuff that we're working on constantly. So make sure that you visit thehustleshow.co for all of this information that we put out there for you. And before we jump into the call, I want to make sure that you hit that subscribe button right now, as it will help other people to find our show. When you hit that subscribe button, iTunes and YouTube start believing in ourselves, and they start giving us more credibility. So it allows for other people to find us easier, and for me to spread my message and the stories that I'm sharing to a lot more people, and to help inspire other people to go all into their dreams and go after what they want. So without further ado, let's welcome Rachel Michaelov from EmpireTaxUSA.com. All right, hustlers. So in today's episode, we have Rachel. Welcome, Rachel.
Thank you. Well, thank you so much for, inviting me to this event.
We're very excited to have you. You're pretty successful in the tax industry, and with our good friends, the IRS, which we don't want to say anything bad about them, and never ever. But we're very excited to have you here to share your amazing story that you have to share with our hustlers. So I can't wait to start digging in.
Thank you.
So, one thing that I do have on my notes as well is you were recently visiting our friend Tony Robbins. So I'm super excited to dig in that as well. How was that?
That was amazing. The energy, everything was just amazing. I had so many breakthroughs, and I love Tony Robbins. He's my number one. I'm a number one fan.
That's awesome. Yeah, it's been in my plans. Hopefully in the next 12 months, hopefully I can attend one of those, because I saw your Facebook lives. They were amazing.
Thank you. Oh, it was electrifying. Believe me, it was amazing. I loved it. Every moment.
Very cool. All right. So, I want to just, share with the hustlers your story about EmpireTaxUSA.com, which is your bookkeeping and all the services that you provide for entrepreneurs and small businesses. And I'm eager, what is the background there? How did you get involved into all this?
So 12 years ago, I worked for a company, and I decided that I no longer wanted to work for another company because I wanted to be my own boss. And I just wanted to start my business and serve other people in a different way. And it's just something that I always wanted to do. And without even doubting myself, I just did it. And it was a very hard journey, but I just did it.
I bet it was. We talk about that all the time, of how sometimes being an employee gives you the insights, the experience, how a business in your industry runs. So usually you get all that knowledge, and then you go open your business, which is what you did. And that's so awesome. And then you say, 12 years running. How are those 12 years going right now?
Well, now they're actually going well, because I have the proper mentoring and coaching that helps me go towards the right direction, especially the right education that brings me on. But in the very beginning, it was very hard, and it was very tough. Like, hiring employees, getting the proper operations in place, knowing how to sell myself, because I'm an accountant. I don't even know anything about sales or marketing. So sometimes we're like the artist, as Tony Robbins says. In every single business, there's an artist, there's a manager or a leader, and there's an entrepreneur. So we're the artists where we're preparing returns, or like digital marketers can be the artist in their business, but you always need an entrepreneur, or you always need a leader to help you. So you need to really know every single areas of a business, and it was very hard.
What drove you to take that decision of going from an employee to starting your business? Was there anything emotional going on there? Why did you want to go quit your job and just go full time with your business?
So one time I came to work. I was working for a very big firm. I did, stars. I did with like the celebrities. We would see people on TV, and I would do their taxes with a very big firm. And a lot of times, like one time I actually came to work and I said, I have my son's daycare. I don't remember what it was, but it was like an event that I really wanted to attend for my kids. And my boss told me that I was not allowed to go. And I'm like, this is like my son's celebration. How can you tell me that I can't go? I thought that my boss would really understand me, and he didn't. And I'm like, okay, you know what? Like I actually quit the same day. I slacked him. We had like some IM messenger that day. And I'm like, you know what? And I said, I'm sorry. I really need to go. And I don't know what I was thinking, to be very honest with you. I didn't have a very large vision ahead of me, because it was just 12 years. I was like, I was so young. So I quit the same day. And I'm like, you know what? I really want to be there for my kids. And I didn't see the light in the day. You come into work at 7 a.m. And I remember the accountants, the seniors, they were looking at me like, oh, you're coming in only at 7:30 or 7 a.m. Like, I'm like, what? It's 7 a.m. Like, leave me alone. They wanted us to even sleep there. And even that wasn't even enough, And then I also left like at 6:30 sometimes in the evening. And they were looking like, Rachel, where are you going? It's 6:30 in the evening. I want to go see my family. There are other things that everybody wants to do besides work. And they didn't understand that. And I'm like, you know what? I think the next time when you post an accountant, or when you're looking for someone, you should look for a slave and not for an employee. And I just left.
Wow.
I'm like, look for a slave. Like the next time you post for someone, don't ask for an accountant. Ask for a slave. And they expected you to work sometimes Saturday mornings, Sundays. And I'm like, this is just not for me. I'm going to lose my life. And I don't know where I got this, because my parents also are business owners, and I saw the freedom that they had. But I just knew, I guess I had like so much confidence, and I just quit my job, and I'm like, that's it. And that's when I started my business 12 years ago.
Wow. That's an incredible story. You hear a lot of people that make the switch because the side business, it's going well. So they just, make the switch. Right. But you were courageous. You went all in, and it's like, this is not for me.
Yes, exactly. And
I love that.
I always tell myself, maybe because I was a woman, if I had like a lot of expenses to pay, then I probably would have not made that decision. But I had my husband help me, because I was married. I'm still married, but I had my husband help me with paying the bills. So while I was picking up my business, my husband was helping me pay the bills. And then, now I make more, but it's okay.
I love that.
So yeah,
I hope he doesn't.
He helped me, now I help him. So, it's a partnership.
Right. I was going to say, I hope he doesn't listen to this episode.
We're both a team, and it doesn't matter who makes more. It's one bank account in our family.
I love that. Yeah. It's a team, at the end of the day, it's a team. It doesn't matter.
Exactly.
They're both the same thing. Both are going to spend it anyway.
Exactly.
Very cool. So through all 12 years of journey right now, because I know you are, your 12 years is a long time in business and startup and whatever you want to call it. It's a long time nowadays. And I bet you've been through those ups and downs. Like, a lot of people call them the entrepreneurial mountains and valleys. And where, one day it's super high and then the next day is super low.
Right.
So, are you still going through those? Do you still have those, or are you in a perfect moment that, okay, well, there's a certain point in business that it goes away?
No, I don't, I mean, I don't know. Personally, I don't think it's ever a perfect moment. I've been in 12 years and it has been really, really highs and then really lows. We just need to maintain our energy. I'll tell you, when I started with 89 clients. Like, I mean, and I was a hustler, believe me. Many people in the accounting industry, for 3 to 4 years, they're in business and they can't even get like 89 clients. I don't know. But my first year, I did everything. I hired my flyer person and I'm like, I don't care about the profit the first year. I'm going to go out and do everything I can to get as many clients as I can. So the first year I got 89 clients, and now we have 1,500 clients that we serve every single year. So,
Wow.
and yes, I do have ups and downs, mainly with like employees, trying to find proper employees, because you may have this vision in your mind and you really want to, you have this dream of serving specific clients and helping them, but you always want to make sure that the people behind you and your employees are always on the same track, and training them and making sure that, they're on board with your vision. For me, that was the hardest thing. I'll tell you, 2 years ago, I had no employees. I fired everyone. I'm telling you, it was so hard. It was in July. And I came back. I think I came back from one of the conferences, and they're like, you know what, how many? And I think it was it was Adam Markel. I don't know if you know him. But he mentioned everybody. He asked everyone in the room, how many of you have employees on staff that you need to let go, and they're in your office long overdue. And I'm like, you know what, that was like a breaking point. And you know what, if they're not helping you, then they're hurting you in a way. So I said, you know what, I can't really grow my team because they're not on the same vision. It was all me by myself. That was the hardest moment 2 years ago. And I had 1,500 clients that I needed to serve. And I'm like, you know what, I'm back to ground zero. And I answered my emails. I picked up my own phones. I needed to do what I needed to do in order for me to, continue my business. And then I put ads on Craigslist. I put myself into peak state, as Tony Robbins says, got the proper employees. And now I have about 8 employees on staff who I am 100% happy with.
I love that. That's amazing. And, I wanted to touch base on that because to all the hustlers that are listening to us right now, I don't think there is that moment. I honestly do not think that moment where everything settles and everything is just flat. I don't think it ever comes, honestly. So, you're just affirming, my thought, my theory that after you were basically 10 years into this when this happened, and this is a big deal. I mean, you basically went to step one again. Because you started all over again, your team, but now I think it was harder because now you had the clients, but you didn't have the manpower.
Exactly. And I worked till 2 o'clock in the morning, overkilling myself, trying to find the proper people. But you know what? We always need to remember that we are in control of our emotions, and don't let anything around you take you down. Just say, you know what? It's not as bad as it is. There are people out there, and I hired the right people. I trained them. I took 3 to 4 days off, training the proper people, bought them lunch because I needed to, was really nice to my employees. And now, thank God, I'm pretty happy.
That's very cool. That's a way, it's a good way to take care of your customers so your customers can take care of your clients.
Exactly.
So I love that. And, looking at that bad moment, that rough patch, did you started to doubt yourself in any way that you could get back on track and get back with a team that you can rely on, or what were you thinking back then? What would those emotions look like?
What do you mean exactly with when I let go of my employees?
Yeah. So when you basically restructured your team and all this was going on, did you doubt that you could get back on your feet and build it again, something better?
Well, yeah, I did. You always have those doubts coming into your mind, right? You always do. Like, sometimes I said, would it be better if I just went to work for an accounting firm 9 to 5? Wouldn't, like, I know a lot of entrepreneurs think like that. Like, should I just quit my business? But then I'm like, oh my God, I'm already into this business 10 years. How can I do that? Right? How can I, or even if a business owner is in 2 years, like, we invested so much time. We quit a 40-hour job to work 80 hours, right? Like, that's what entrepreneurs and business owners do. But, you know, the only reason we do that is because for our future to never work that much, right? So if I want to take off now, if I want to take off 2 weeks, I could. I took off the whole week for Tony Robbins. I was able to. I had staff to take care of everything for me. And that's why we want to be entrepreneurs, to live in freedom and a flexible life. So, I always doubted myself. And you know, with Tony Robbins, because I started going there 2 years ago, I learned how to control my mind and how to control the thoughts that come into my head. And I think that's really, really crucial, because mindset could either bring your business up or break you down. And, you know, the stronger the mindset, the better. It's like a muscle in your hand. If you don't work on it, you're going to have weak muscles. If you will work on it, you're going to have really strong muscles. So yeah, I did doubt myself, especially like, you know, the bills were coming and bills needed to be paid. And you're like, what are you doing? You're working so many hours, but at the end, it's totally worth it, especially if you have a service that all the clients are looking for. You just need to find the client. And, you know, I just posted something recently. If you know, don't fall in love with your product or service, fall in love with the customer. So we heard our clients, we've customized our services to help our clients. And obviously I didn't know what the clients wanted in the beginning. I thought that's what they wanted. And when I heard what they wanted, we always changed it, made it better, changed it and made it better. And that's how I'm still in business and doing very well.
That's very cool. I mean, I think you touch a few points there with, you know, in regards to mindset. I totally agree with you. You know, I think your mindset can make you or break you in a heartbeat. I mean, it's a matter of just shifting, you know. It's not like you're not going to have problems. You're just going to look at them differently. But it's amazing when you start reading and studying. And in your case, you know, you're attending Tony Robbins events. And I'm sure, is there any other event that you're going right now besides from Tony Robbins?
I met Bob Proctor, Les Brown.
Ooh, I love him too.
I met Gary Vee. I met Ariana Huffington, Simon Sinek. I met Brian Tracy. I went to his 3-day event. There was a Jim Rohn event, but I did not meet him. There was a tribune for him, and you know, they mentioned all the things that he taught. I purchased every single CD on the planet that Jim Rohn had. I'm telling you, I listened to all of his videos. I read all of his books. I'm obsessed with him. And those are, I normally go to these events also not only for the education, because you always have the books to read it at home, but to stay with positive minds, to stay with people that are in the same crowd as you. So, because, you know, when you go to the park or whatever, when you go to a restaurant or you meet your friends that you met in high school, they would say, oh, what are you doing? And you can't really relate to them because you're a business owner. They're not going to understand you're working till 2 o'clock in the morning. They all think I'm crazy, but I think they're crazy because they're working 40 hours a week for a paycheck. So, yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you. That's a really funny way to put it. I mean, you know, I think that, you know, everybody, 99% of the people see us crazy.
They
like,
do.
why are you, you know, working so hard? And, you know, I'm the one with the nice car and I'm the good with, you know, with the good home. It's like, well, yeah, but I'll talk to you in a few years and see who's better.
Exactly. And I'll tell you a story. I recently had a client who worked for someone for 14 years. Okay. 14 years. She was getting a really good salary and she was supposed to close on an apartment in 2 weeks. Okay. Her boss just comes in and fires her. No excuse,
Wow.
Nothing. He just says, you know, X amount, whatever her name is, said, you know what, I'm really sorry. We're changing management. We're making several changes in the office. I need to let you go. And I think they fired multiple people. She wasn't the only one. And you should see her cry on her phone. She's like, Rachel, I'm closing my house in 2 weeks. I don't know what to tell my mortgage broker. I don't know what to tell the banks. I don't know what to do. And you know, and in 14 years, you would think that it's security, right? You're not secured. No matter how many years you work at a specific company, you're never secured.
And that's it. The exact thing that I was going to say. I mean, you would think that having a job, a 9 to 5 is job security and that you're set and just keep going. You're going to be fine. But you depend on somebody else. I mean, you depend on literally whatever foot they want to wake up one day. If they're not feeling like liking you, they can fire you right away.
Exactly.
did that have anything to do with what, well, I know we talked about they were not letting you the freedom that you needed for your family, but was this another motivation for you to do what you're doing?
Well, yeah, I mean, I really wanted to do what I wanted to do. I didn't want anyone to tell me what to do. And also, I always think about it. If I have one boss and he fires me, then I am screwed. I have nobody. But if I have 1,000 clients and even 20 people fire me, I still have 980 people to survive on, right? And
Right.
not only that, like I have value. When you're an entrepreneur, no matter what level you're in, I think most entrepreneurs, because you have such a strong vision that pulls you, you have the proper education and you're hungry. You're more hungry. For me, it was really embarrassing for someone telling me, "Oh, you're worth $100,000," and I'm like, "No, no, no, don't tell me what I'm worth. I'll tell you what I'm worth." So Jim Rohn says it's actually it's an embarrassment when a boss tells you how much you're worth, because sometimes you're worth more, but most employees do what they are paid to do, but they're able to do so much more, if that makes sense. Because if somebody tells you, you're commission, like when you're on commission based, you're able to make unlimited. People are going out there and hustle and using your whole potential to be the best that you can. You could make more. So that I'm like, no way, nobody's going to tell me how much I'm worth. I'll tell you how much I'm worth. And every year my income keeps on doubling and doubling. And I'm like, I knew I was able to make more, to do better, and to serve the clients that I truly love.
That's amazing. That's really good for, very proud that, I mean, you're in the make for 12 years, so you're not like you're not new, but like we talked about before, I mean, ups and downs are always there, and you're still learning, and we can all
Definitely.
see that. I mean, you're still investing in yourself, in courses, books, and to all the hustlers that are listening to us right now, that I would say that's the number one thing that I would recommend anybody, invest in yourself, because it creates that what you just mentioned. I mean, it allows you to put your own price versus somebody else.
Right. And readers are leaders. I always say that. When people listen to me, they're like, "Oh my God, Rachel, you're so smart." No, I'm not. I'm not smart. I'm not any better than anybody else. I'm really not. We're all the same. We have all the books on Amazon or whatever. We have access to everything now. Nobody is smarter than anyone. We have unlimited potential. And all we need to do is just read those books on a daily basis and, apply it to our knowledge and use it. And that's it. It's so simple. It's so simple. Yeah, Jim Rohn says success is small habits done every single day. So you don't need to make major change. You don't need to, get a storefront or whatever. It's just the small little things that you do on a daily basis, and educate your mind and shift, like you said, shift your negative thoughts to positive thoughts. And anybody could do it because they have the proper mindset.
What are some of the things that you do every day, like Jim Brown said, that you've considered that it's part of your success?
So, well, with Tony Robbins, we're going to do the prime. So every morning, there's hour of power. You wake up in the morning, you work out. I actually didn't start. I mean, I did this last year, the first UPW, but then I fell off. So now I'm going to start doing it again. Just like, I have a 5-minute journal that I read every day, and I write like all the 3 things that I would love to accomplish. Assuming that, life takes me whatever in the wrong direction, God forbid emergencies or whatever. But, so I write my 5-minute journal. I pray. I listen to music to bring my energy up where I want it to be. Because then from the very beginning, it just goes down. So it's truly important where your energy is in the morning. I'm very, like, I try to say, okay, I control my life. I tell myself, like, there's some affirmations that I say. And I read every single day before I go to sleep, at least 30 minutes a day. I listen to music on a daily basis just to get my energy up and running. And that's it.
I love
That's what I
that.
do.
That's that's like every single key that somebody recommend. You're like doing everything. You're doing it all.
I'm a perfectionist. I'm a Virgo, so I'm a perfectionist.
I
And
love that.
I need to do everything because in the future I don't want to have any excuse as to why I did not reach my goals. I
Right.
also do my goals as well. So I review my goals for the month and I make sure that I'm always on track.
Let
Yeah,
me
so
ask you
like now
some.
I'm reviewing.
What's
Sorry.
that? No, go ahead.
So now I'm reviewing, like, it's the 25th today. I'm reviewing July's goals to make sure that I get it done before the month ends. And I'm thinking, like, what kind of goals do I want in August to make sure that I'm ahead of the game?
I love that. And I mean, you still have what, like 5 or 6 days? 6?
Yeah, I do, but I am always ahead of the game.
Oh, so are you done with your goals for July?
I'm almost done. I have one more week
Ooh.
left. I have a few things that needs to be done. So like now I'm like, okay, and I love crossing things out of my, journal. So there are a few things and goals normally take, like, at least I start the goal. There's some goals that I did not finish, but at least I started and I feel happy about it. So I'm just going to move it on to August, but I feel good that I started it and I'm still working on it.
Yes, that's very cool. And that's actually, I mean, I hear a lot about goal setting and how it's going to, drive you through the right path, but they're usually every 3 months or every 6 months. So I think this is the first time that I hear that every month you set up your goals. I think that's gold.
I do, yeah. So I have a notebook where I write my annual goals, and I always make sure that I'm on track with my annual goals. And you know how they say, eat an elephant one bite size at a time? So I make sure that my monthly goals are related to my annual goals. So at the end of the year, I finish all my annual goals. And every month, there's at least has to be like 3 to 6 things that I wanted to do. Let's say renovate an apartment. That may take 2 months, but yet at least I started it. I put my foot in it. Or try a different marketing strategy. I started this month on Facebook ads and a webinar that I really wanted to do, or just different things that are in the process. But every month you just check in with yourself to see, where am I going? What am I doing? Instead of every 3 months, you're like, oh my God, I didn't even start it. I completely forgot about it. And you just wasted 3 months, and I don't waste any time. Time is a very valuable asset for me.
I think you hit it right there with the comparison between 3 months and 30 days, because it's so hard to keep up with the goals when you set it up 2 or 3 months ago. You forget about them.
Exactly.
And what you're doing is basically just staying on track, and every 30 days revisit, and you're not going to lose time because you're always on top of yourself.
Right. And Tony Robbins says progress equals happiness. So you feel so much happier when you get things done, especially if you're crossing things out. Sometimes I get a little bit crazy. I make weekly goals that fit my monthly goals. So let's say if I want to reach out to 100 people in a month, I make sure that, okay, where am I this week? Did I call 25 people? Did I reach out to 25 people? So and I have an Excel sheet that I review on a daily basis to see, where am I? Where's my income? Where are my expenses? How am I doing? Just to make sure that I'm always on track. And
That's
as
very
an
cool.
entrepreneur, you have control over that.
Yes, absolutely. And looks like you have it right to the bone control.
Thank you.
That sounds so cool. All right, so we're gonna change gears a little bit. We're gonna move from your story and everything that goes in your everyday to everyday goal setting to what I like to call the hassle round, where we're gonna play this little game of me giving you a word, and then the first word that comes to mind, that's the one that you're gonna give it back to me. Sounds like a plan?
Okay. Yeah.
Cool. All right. So here we go. The first one, hustle.
So what do I need to give you a word
One,
back to you?
yes, one single word. Whatever comes to your mind when I say hustle, one word, just say it.
Working. I have no, I mean, okay.
Work.
Work. Sorry.
No, I'm saying the next one is work.
Oh, the next two. Okay. Words.
Whatever, anything.
Hustle. Can I say the same thing as hustle or
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, if it's what reminds you, go for it.
Yeah. So work reminds me of hustle.
Employee.
Employee. I'm not really good with words. Employee. Limited.
Boss.
Unlimited.
Rules.
Rules. I can't say too. Okay. Rules broken.
Okay, I like that.
Broken. Yeah.
College.
College. I would say, like, another word that I'm thinking. College. I would say limited. You're very limited to what you could do with a college degree.
I like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fear.
False. False mindset, or like Tony Robbins says, false evidence appearing real. That's what fear is. I don't know if people know that.
Well, I think it's gold. Thank you for sharing.
No problem.
Weakness.
Weakness. Weakness. Um, I have no idea. Weakness. Sorry. Okay, weakness.
No, there's no weakness.
There is no weakness. Yeah.
There
I
you
guess
go.
like not uneducated, I would say. You're
Okay.
weak.
Yeah, that's actually, yeah, that's a great weakness.
Yeah.
Strength,
Education.
motivation,
Energy.
and last but not least, books.
Books. Thrive. Make sure
Awesome.
you're thriving.
There you go. You survived.
Thank you. I was like, oh my God, what is this?
That's so fun. All right. So, before we close here the call, and all the motivational content you've been giving us, and all the tips and tricks with goal setting, what is there any motivational quote that you would say to all the hustlers that are listening to us right now to keep pushing, and to maybe they're in the fence between leaving their job and starting their business, or maybe they already started but they're in the early beginning, something that you would tell them to keep them pushing and to keep them motivate them?
Sure. I would share profits are better than wages. So
Ooh.
profits are always better than wages, because wages, you're always paying taxes on the wages, and you're always paying the most on actually wages. And I don't know if a lot of business owners know that when you're on a W-2 employee and you're making, let's say, 50K, you're paying the most in taxes. But when you're a business owner, you only pay taxes on profits. So keep it up. It's always worth it to be a business owner. I will never, ever go back, ever.
I
I'm
like that.
very happy as a business owner.
I love that. I mean, even if for whatever remote reason you have to change industries, I would bet that you would just change it rather than go work in another
I will
job.
find another business. I would not go back working for someone else, ever.
I love that. Very cool. All right. So any way that people can connect with you, Rachel, maybe they have some problems, they have their business and they're looking for some advice in taxes and bookkeeping, anything like that. Is there a way for them to connect with you?
Yeah, sure. They could email me at Rachel, Rachel, at Empire, Empire, taxusa.com, or they could always call my office, 212-300-5776.
Sweet. And we'll make sure that we put this link and this telephone in our show notes at thehustleshow.co/TSH12, so that all the hustlers listening, they can get in touch with you, because I think accounting is something that stresses the nerves out of all the business owners and entrepreneurs. But it's one of those things that you cannot skip. Like, there's no
Right.
way.
It only
So,
scares them because they don't know much information. And once you have that proper information, you don't feel you don't have any fear. So I'm very good at explaining things in very simple terms. And I think another fear that most business owners have is many accountants put business owners down for their lack of knowledge, which is 100% unacceptable. If a marketing person came to me, I would have no idea how to do Facebook ads or anything in marketing. I would be as dumb as he would be in accounting. So everyone has their own expertise. Everyone has their own weakness. And if somebody treats you or makes you feel dumb because you're asking a question, then you need to find another accountant.
sweet. All right. Well, I really appreciate you taking the time to talk to us today and inspire all the hustlers that are listening to us right now. I think you gave us some really, really cool golden nuggets here for mindset and goal setting. And not only that, but I'm very proud of all the success that you had. 12 years in the making. That's a great milestone for you. So congratulations for that.
Mm-hmm.
And I know you're in the right track. There's still room for growth, and I know you're going to explode. So
Thank
I'm
you.
very happy for you, and I wish you the best of success.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
So there you have it, hustlers. I hope you enjoyed today's episode, as I think we shared a lot of golden nuggets when it comes to mindset and goal setting, and I hope they inspire you to go after your dreams and take action on whatever idea you have, okay? And if you haven't done it yet, make sure you hit that subscribe button on both our YouTube channel and our podcast audio experience, as It will mean the world to me, and I would really, really appreciate it if you do so, all right? Keep hustling.
Guys, thanks so much for tuning in to the Hustle Show audio experience. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. And even if you didn't, make sure you subscribe to the podcast right now. It's still free. Visit thehustleshow.co for all the show notes and to watch the video experience of this episode. We'll see you soon.